Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Covering the biggest stories, breaking news, the latest trades, and taking your calls. The Inside Drive is live and local middays from the Gulf Plus Studios.
Happy anniversary.
That kid was on roids.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, a variety of very light rain and mostly sunshine, and a high of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light rain Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, where the locals go for the best boiled seafood around. Crawfish, shrimp, red royals, and everything crabs. Watch almost every sporting event in the country on their huge outdoor jumbotron. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on weekly events, live music, and food and beer specials. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, your home away from home for sports, good times, and great food. The best boiled seafood. Lone Star Boil House and Sports Bar, 320 West 5th Street, downtown Panama City.
Happy Books helps small business owners save over 100 hours a year on bookkeeping and save $5,000 to $7,000 a year in expenses. Let Happy Books handle your bookkeeping so you can do what you do best. Grow your business. They are a small business specializing in serving other small businesses. Call Happy Books now for a free consultation. 850-867-6973. That's 850-867-6973. Or take the first step on their Facebook page or website, happybookstoday.com.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, we're taking the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Northwest Florida. You are tuned in to the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus here on this beautiful Tuesday. Just so happens to be June 3rd. I am James Fife, sitting in for Ryan Mulvey on the day. And with me, as always, we got David Hayes hitting the buttons, making it happen, going out to that worldwide that we call Northwest Florida.
Yeah, what's going on, brother? Switching places with you for the afternoon.
It's a good deal, man. It's a
Yes,
good deal.
sir.
Always happy to sit here and get a couple of reps in the old hosting chair. It's quite fun for me and always having a good time. And be sure to be listening to the Braves this afternoon because ESPN Northwest Florida is the home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. Tonight, the Braves taking on the Diamondbacks. We'll get to pregame festivities at 6 o'clock after the afternoon underdogs with David Hayes. First pitch tonight, 6:15. So we'll be tuning into that, cheering on for the Braves, and we will discuss more Braves baseball later on as the day goes on. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call us. You can text us 850-215-6290. And today at, 12:20, get ready to call us in because I will be asking and I will be telling you also about my favorite summer activities, since now that the sports time is kind of winding down and we're only going to be having the great sport of baseball to take us through for the next couple of months. Let's discuss what else we like to do at the beautiful outdoors that we have here in Northwest Florida. Let's go over some scores from last night. We will start in Major League Baseball. And the biggest news of Major League Baseball last night, I will give to you right now. And that just so happens to be the Colorado Rockies taking on the Miami Marlins. The Rockies, 6 runs. The Marlins, 4 runs. You know what that means? That means I lost my bet, but that also means that the Rockies now have a grand total of 10 wins.
Double digits for the Rockies. An interesting stat kind of playing along with that, as well as the fact that the Rockies have not had a, 9 or 10 game, I think it's 9 game losing streak this year with all of their losses that they've had as well. So they go about 1-9 every 10 games.
I mean, that's how you keep from going on a 10-game losing streak, though.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the last team to get to 10 wins this slowly in Major League Baseball history. Want to take a guess at the year, Dave?
I'd say 1893.
You are dang close, man. It was 1894.
1894.
That is some historically bad rockiness that we are experiencing.
What team
right
was
now,
it?
man. I didn't catch the team. I just saw the stat come through. Rockies, 10 wins. Last team to do this long, 1894. And I was like, that's like, you're even crossing into not even modern day baseball anymore because they start that at 1900. We got to go back 6 years before that to even find how awful this run the Rockies have been. Do you see one of the Rockies fans, season ticket holders, suing the team?
I did see that. Is that for like emotional trauma or something like that?
for emotional distress because of how awful the team has been for so long. Now, I don't like his chances in court. I do enjoy the troll job that he's doing right now, because it's like, come on, guys, you can put out something better than this. And the Rockies aren't even the cheapest team in baseball, which makes this even worse, truthfully.
Right, because you could be looking at the Marlins or the Rays as far as cheapest vendors.
As far as the cheapos on the old salary cap, those are the 2 winners right now. And the Rockies, I think, are even in front of the Pirates.
Yeah.
So, are they bottom? Yes, they are bottom spenders. But they're no means last. They have never been last. They're a team that has never been the lowest paid team in baseball. I'm talking in the last, 10, 15 years when teams have been tanking, So it's, man, the Rockies. But again, we'll get to our $2 bets later in the show, and
bet against the Rockies,
they will be a part of that as well.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see how it plays out, but it is funny with that fella, suing the team and whatnot. But another way that he could save himself from emotional turmoil is just don't watch. Team. Figure out a new hobby during the summer.
Stop buying tickets, bro. Nobody's making you.
No, they don't got a gun to your head.
Yeah, nobody's saying you have to buy Rockies tickets. No, man, you are voluntarily choosing it. You are voluntarily being a fanatic of the Rockies. Continuing on the scoreboard, the Angels defeated the Boston Red Sox 7-6. Angels came out hot in that game, 3 home runs in the first inning. Brewers taking on the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati. Brewers defeated the Reds 3-2. Tigers giving a walloping to the Chicago White Sox. The Tigers 13, the White Sox 1. Padres taking on the Giants on the West Coast. This game finished in 10 innings with a grand total of 1-0. So that means we got 9 innings of baseball without a run being scored. Doesn't happen real often, but I always like to see it because I'm always a guy that likes to see those pitching duels.
Yeah.
And if you can get a really great pitching duel, I don't mind seeing a 0-0 game, 0-1 game. But if you go look at the box score on this game, I don't think that was the case. I didn't watch this game. I did get some highlights of it, but I just think it was a bad baseball game played all the way around. You get a couple of those a year. Twins taking on the Athletics of No Home. The Twins 10, the Athletics 4, and in the final nightcap
The A's
game.
have been, they've started to become the A's again.
The A's have started to become the A's again. They are 1-9 in their last 10. So they're starting to A it up. I mean, we thought they were going to be not great. We thought they were going to finish last in the West. And they had a nice little run at the beginning of the season, I guess, moving out of Mount Davis and getting into a smaller, cozier ballpark, gave them more of a family feel, and they felt like playing, and then realized that they were the Athletics and decided that we don't need to play anymore. We're the Athletics.
Well, and they're kind of like I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, but they're more like a foster child in the teenage years where, you know, they know that they're not at their final home yet. So have they been treating the people of Sacramento like their actual family, you know?
Well, I mean, it's something that I don't understand why professional teams have not learned. This has been done before. Go look at the Oilers. What did they do? They said, hey, we're going to move to Tennessee. Oh, we don't got a stadium yet, and Houston's kicking us out. What are we going to do? Well, we can go play in a college stadium in Nashville at Vanderbilt, or we can go play at the Liberty Bowl, which was built in the 70s, quote unquote, you know, to attract an NFL football team to bring NFL football to Memphis. So what does the ownership decide to do? Well, we'll just go play in Memphis. Had no idea the history here about Memphis and Nashville, while in the same state, don't exactly get along. It's like little brother, big brother type syndrome.
Yeah.
And then people don't show up. Wow, I'm shocked, bud. People didn't show up to watch the Titans in Memphis when everybody knew that they were going to leave. Wow, I wonder how that really played out.
Yeah.
Come on, let's think about that one for a half second. Now we got, major league teams doing it as well. Not really going to throw that on Tampa because of losing the stadium to damage from a hurricane. Not really the problem that they created for themselves. So I'll give them a little bit of a pass on being in a minor league stadium this year. And at least they are in a minor league stadium that is in their city. So they're at least playing still for their fans instead of being like, hey, we're just going to drop this team here for a little while and then we're going to leave. So don't worry, don't get attached. I mean, that's not going to drive a fan base to you. I mean, that's going to drive fans to go watch baseball that are baseball fans, and that's going to drive people who are fans of the other team to come watch those games because, oh, cool, look, I'm a huge Giants fan. I don't have to go all the way to San Francisco. I can hang out here in Sacramento and go watch the Giants.
Yeah.
So that's cool for those guys, but it's something I just don't understand why teams haven't learned this yet. They would have been better off like playing in the minor league ballpark that's outside of Las Vegas right now.
Right.
Where the area, I think they're the 51s playing right now.
Las Vegas 51.
Would that not have been a better idea? At least get the team down there and introduce them?
And then you start garnering excitement for them and what they possibly could be. People start buying in. Makes a lot more sense to be going ahead and playing in at least the state that you're going to be playing ball in.
Yeah, and right now you're not even playing in a town or an area where people care about you. You're actually kind of the villain because you're from North California. Sacramento's still in North California. You're still bailing. So it's still the same fans that you said, don't need you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't get it. But, hey, I'm not the billionaire. Mr. Fisher is the billionaire, so let him spend his money how he wants.
He can A-on.
All right, we will move into college softball. Yesterday afternoon, we saw the University of Tennessee taking on the University of Texas in the Battle of Orange. The University of Texas defeats the University of Tennessee 2-0. This will be the third time in 4 years now that the University of Texas has moved on to the championship of the Women's College World Series.
And they normally have an opponent that they almost took on.
Almost got to see him, but in the second game of the day, we saw the University of Oklahoma taking on Texas Tech. Texas Tech pulls the upset. 3-2, sending Oklahoma back home for the first time in 4 years.
It'll be first time in 5 years because they were looking for their fifth in a row here.
Man,
Patty Gasso. I felt like from what I saw, she handled that loss with grace. Nigeri Kennedy just absolutely amazing. And Oklahoma was down to their last strike in the top of the seventh, and then a 2-run shot to tie it up at 3, then a little sack fly for Texas Tech to get the job done last night. But it's going to be really interesting to see Nigeri Kennedy and her $1 million self up against Texas, this is the first time ever for Texas Tech that they've been in the Women's College World Series, let alone the tournament, I believe. It might just be, no, it's not the tournament. First time making it to the Women's College World Series and then getting to the final series here. Does Nigeri Kennedy have enough in the tank left to take care of business against the Longhorns, or will the chip on the shoulder of the Longhorns having to face the Sooners the past 3 out of 4 years, will that chip on the shoulder be big enough for the Longhorns?
So the championship will begin on Wednesday night. Texas Tech, number 12, taking on number 6, Texas. It is a 3-game series. It will be played Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday if Friday is necessary. Moving on into some college baseball now. The regionals wrapping up yesterday, so we know exactly the super regionals now, but let's just go over the final scores of those regional games.
Crazy ball last night.
Craziness, and I loved every minute of it. High-scoring games, except for the final game of the night, but we'll get down to that. The University of North Carolina taking on Oklahoma. Saw North Carolina putting a walloping on Oklahoma, 14-4. LSU taking on Little Rock. LSU defeats Little Rock 10-6. Oregon State moves on while shutting out the University of Southern California 9-0. The big upset of the evening, Murray State 12, Ole Miss 11. The number 4 seed in that bracket, Murray State, advancing on to the Super Regionals. First time those guys have made it to the Super Regionals. Congratulations, Racers, for getting into that Super Regionals. Excellent game right there. Excellent game right there. Murray State had like a 12-5 lead at one point, and it was Ole Miss making that comeback in the 8th inning, getting 8 runs to make it a 12-11 game.
Was it 8 in the 8th inning?
Yeah.
So I tuned in right before it was, I forget what game I was watching prior to it, one of the college baseball games, and then I flipped over to the softball game and tuned in right as the girl was sliding into home plate. And then I turned it back to Murray State and Ole Miss because that's what I was watching when I left here. That game started at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, and it went forever.
Yeah, exactly. That game was outlasting plenty of games. And then I turned it in right in. It was 12-8, and they hit the 3-run shot, 12-11.
Yeah.
And felt like, oh, goodness, here comes Ole Miss. And they were able to hold them off. So congratulations to Murray State. That's one less SEC team left here in the tournament. And that was there was a lot of high-scoring contests here in the college baseball regionals.
And that was one of the higher scoring of the high-scoring contests as well, because both teams were getting into the double digits. And also, it was another ranked team falling out, not making it into the Super Regionals. University of Tennessee taking on Wake Forest. Tennessee gets the big win, 11-5. And the game that did not have as many runs, the U, Miami, taking on Southern Miss. Southern Miss defeated 5-4 by the Hurricanes. So Southern Miss not moving on, but Miami moving on into the Super Regionals.
Yeah,
so we know what's going to happen now.
What is that?
the Super Regionals.
Yeah. Yes, they got Louisville, I believe, in their Super Regional. So looking forward to these games. This is the time that's a little bit easier to keep track of it all because you just got series going on at a time. See, that's the difference in the college basketball tournament and the college softball and college baseball tournaments, which I love the college softball and the college baseball tournaments. But during the March Madness tournament, you can get an eye on every single game that's going on.
Yeah.
During the college baseball and the college softball, especially the regionals, it's a little bit harder because it's basically broken up into two windows, early and late, right? And so you'll have a multitude of games going on in the early and in the late slate. Now, they do have the squeeze play, which is a very good way
nice.
to...
You can watch a lot at once, keep up.
Yeah, exactly. But once you get to kind of the Sunday championship games, you just have to do as much flipping as you possibly can.
I mean, basketball does it right. They have 4 games going on at once, no more. And I was finding sometimes when some of these baseball games were running long, there would be 6 and 7 on at one time. Kind of hard to keep up, but I mostly was sticking with the games that were already in progress unless they were a blowout, just so I could see. The ending is always way more interesting than the beginning.
Right.
Usually.
Especially in baseball, I would say. Well, I don't know. Basketball, those final 2 minutes are insane because it doesn't matter what the score is.
Oh, absolutely.
You can be down 20 with 2 minutes and find a way to get back into that game.
Well, I mean, look at the Pacers and the Knicks. The Knicks had a 95% chance of winning, 3 minutes left, lost in overtime.
And the
Knicks was crazy.
And the Knicks in the series prior to that was doing that to Boston for at least the first 3 or 4 games, right?
Yep.
And so that was happening. Then the Pacers did that to the Knicks, and then we get the NBA Finals starting Thursday.
So, excited. So the only thing I really got to say for the first round of baseball was the umpiring for me, little bit inconsistent along the way, I got to say. I saw some strike zones that were wide. I could not figure them out. They were wide, then they would go shrink, and then they'd get wide again from the same umpire. It's like, at least I don't mind. I'm fine with like old school umpiring where the umpire has his strike zone and you learn it.
Yeah.
If you're consistent with it,
I'm cool with it.
It does not bother me as much as this is a strike and then 2 innings later it's a ball. That's hard for me to, come on, man. At least consistently call it.
Consistency across the board in all officiating is what I think we all yearn for. But I'll also say, or could there be an excuse built in that these games are starting too late?
No.
Like the eyes
you can't make that because they're going to start late. It's baseball. There's no clock. I mean, there is a clock for pitching now, but there is no clock that says, hey, when that timer runs out, we're done. That doesn't exist in baseball. So you've just got to be able to get up and go, whatever it happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was being highly facetious.
Oh, yeah,
but that thought
University of Florida. Exactly.
Oh, Sullivan, man, he was. There was a lot of coaching outburst in this tournament too, as well. You had Sullivan, you had Wake Forest, you had who was it? You had the FSU pitcher who called one of the kids from Mississippi State and inbred. Like there was a lot of attitude issues in this game. Do you think that could be coming from the upsets? I mean, what would Sullivan be mad if he was losing to a team that was ranked higher than him compared to getting whooped up on by East Carolina? Because he even had, all that we got to hear was that he was having an issue with the Coastal Carolina field crew and kind of like the ambassador to the NCAA, who was being was in a role that was administrative, but he was also talking down to East Carolina baseball players, and then the East Carolina head ball coach had to intervene there.
No, I mean, you got to stand up for your dudes. And I mean, a coach,
yeah, absolutely.
I kind of get coaches going after players. Sports are a mental game as well. If you can get somebody throwing off, that's great. I just got an issue with it with college kids, although are they really kids anymore? Because most of them are now collecting a paycheck.
That's a good point, but I still don't think that it calls for a coach to tell a player to shove a whiteboard up his rear end and then call him an MFer.
It's not a good look.
I think player versus player, but I don't think a coach should ever be trying to get into a collegiate or really even a pro. It's just unprofessional, It's unprofessional. I can get it more in pros because there's that even bigger strive to win. Yeah.
But in college, you don't know those kids. I mean, if it's a 17-year-old kid that's a freshman where he's pitched 10 innings all year and you're going to, harangue him? Come on, man. Come on. You can do better than that.
I agree with you.
Come on. All right, guys. Coming up next, I'm going to turn my paper over and we will be giving you a Braves update. This is the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Line play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, a variety of very light rain and mostly sunshine, and a high of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning followed by likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light rain Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Now in stock at Tommy Otto's.
2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee Altitude. Luxury at a value price. $13,995 or a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe Sport with one owner. Sporty and affordable. $11,995 at Tommy Otto's.
Buy here, pay here. Financing options available. Everyone is approved. Tommy Otto's, 2209 West 15th Street, Panama City. 850-960-8664. For the latest deals and specials, follow Tommy Otto's on Facebook. Add tag, tax, and title.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Clare, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you. Serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Golf Plus studios. Spreads, picks, and parlays. Get the breaking news, insider angles, and expertise so you can run your game.
I told y'all to run that.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tuned into the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus here on ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3, right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. You can call us or text us 850-215-6290. And right now it is the best of Bay. So make sure that you are heading out to the News Herald and voting for Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive and the Coach James Hale Show in the mornings. Make us winners again, because you know this is the best local radio on air, and we are here to prove it. Head on out and give us a vote. Let the people know that the greatness is found right here, 104.3 ESPN, and we are home for the Braves. Braves tonight at 6 o'clock for the pregame, 6:15 first pitch. Starting pitcher tonight for the Atlanta Braves, Spencer Strider, making his fourth appearance on the season. So far on the season, though, not looking good for the Quads. He is 0 for 3, 4.50 ERA with only 15 strikeouts. David Hayes, does Spencer Strider get win number 1 against the Diamondbacks tonight, who are 28-31 on the season?
I'm going to say yes. I mean, the Braves have been better at the house this year than what they've been on the road. They've been absolutely terrible.
Awful
on the road, so they've been average at the house. A little bit better than that, but not a great showing against the Red Sox over the weekend. I'll say he gets it done tonight, and the Braves fans, we as Braves fans, get excitement for one night.
So the Braves now 8 losses in the last 11 games. 4 games under 500 after working so hard to claw their way back up to that 500 mark. Kind of tough on them, man, watching this season. The last time the Braves had a winning series, you got to go back to the middle of May when they traveled up to Fenway and they took 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. Have not had a winning series since then, even with bringing back Ronald Acuna, who, by the way, looking pretty good for coming back from that, was it an ACL or an MCL? Either way, from a bad knee blowout.
Ronald?
Yeah.
ACL.
Yeah, bad knee blowout on that one. So glad to see him back up into the Braves organization again. Looking better than a lot of the Braves right now. If we go back and we look at the last 7 days, so let's just look at the last week of Braves baseball. The bats getting a little chilly. Having a 236 over the last 7 days. Now, that's not too bad, but, I mean, you've got a couple of guys here that you are expecting to bat a little bit better than they are. Ozzie Albies at 190. You got Alex Verdugo at a 154. Nick Allen coming up with a 0 on the week. Eli White coming up with a 0 on the week with 14 plate appearances. You got to at least make some contact at some point, dudes. That is not the best looking numbers. Marcell Ozuna still doing pretty well. Got a 333 over the week. Michael Harris having a 333 over the week. So at least those guys are getting a hit at least once a game. And that is something that you need your big bats to be doing, which, right now, if you kind of go down, Sean Murphy's at a 236, Olson's at a 240. You're missing some guys that need to be kind of raking if you want to be moving on, if you want to be in a playoff hunt. It is not a pretty picture out there for those guys right now. And the thing is, too, is they're not really taking their walks, only 25 walks over the past week.
They're getting their strikeouts, though.
57 strikeouts over the same time period. You want those numbers to be almost kind of even, you know. That's when you know you're having some pretty good, because you strike out, especially this day and age, you strike out. It's not looked at down upon like it was in the 80s, early 90s, you know, when Tony Gwynn was striking out 14 times in a whole season. So it's not what you want to be seeing from the Braves right now. The slugging is not there. I mean, only 3 guys in the last week having a slug over 500. Acuna, Riley, and Stuart Fairchild, which I don't know if we really want to count Stuart Fairchild. He was only in for 1 game, but hey, he was in for 1 game. Got, 1 hit, so he's slugging 1,000, so man, good for him. Now let's just bring him back and let's keep him doing it.
Yeah, it's Braves 3-9 too. I don't know if you mentioned that, but 3-9 since they've had Ronald Acuna and Spencer Strider back. That was supposed to be kind of the all right. We've struggled a little bit to this point, but we've got our
boys back.
Yeah, exactly. So. Baseball's a long season, still plenty of time to turn it around, and Chris Sale has turned it around, right? So maybe
Chris Sale has, yes, sir.
So maybe we can follow that model, and we'll have to see about it. But right now, I would be embarrassed for the Braves to even be in the playoffs.
And Schwellenbach looking better right now, too. He's pitching a lot better. The bullpen, however, I don't know what they have done, but in the past, week or two, it has just decided to go and drive off a cliff. I mean, if you look at it right now, you look at the guys that are in the bullpen. Peterson last week an 18 ERA, Johnson 16.2, Hernandez at a 9. I mean, yeah, these guys aren't coming in for long stints, but I mean, when you're running through a bullpen, you've got to have low numbers on that ERA with the bullpen because they are in there for short stints.
Right.
So giving up that 1 run at all is just a death sentence to their numbers, and it is just not looking the best for the Braves in terms of that. Now, like David said, long season. You got a long season ahead of you. So you just got to relax, calm down.
Mm-hmm. Calm down. Let the cake bake a little bit.
Calm down. We're not even to the All-Star break yet.
But if that first couple of weeks after the All-Star break and they're not over 500 by at least 3 or 4 games, then it is not looking good.
You need to be 500 for the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And you need to be winning 6 out of 4, 7 out of 3 constantly after the All-Star break if you want to be competitive in September, which a lot of people at the beginning of the season probably would have said, yeah, the Braves will be competing then. But it's a long season, and there are changes that happen throughout the season, like the Braves right now. Freddie Gonzalez coming back to the Braves as the third base coach.
Oh, so
how does that work?
What are we doing here? Because Snit took over for Freddie Gonzalez, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. So what are we reversing here? Like a little reverse osmosis? You're gonna get Snit out of there and put Freddie Gonzalez back in there?
I don't know if that's the idea. I don't think it would be that this is. We're going to put a heir apparent in. For Snitker. No, I don't think Freddie Gonzalez is the answer to that. Reason Freddie Gonzalez is there at third is because Matt Toposo has moved into a position as the minor league infield coordinator, so that opened up a spot at the third base, and instead of just taking somebody that was already on the bench, they go out and hire Gonzalez for some reason. That's odd to me. I don't think anybody is still left in the clubhouse, though, that was on the team when Gonzalez was managing, is there?
I would highly doubt that there is anyone, because what was that, 2016, I believe?
It's 15, 16, somewhere in there. And it was, to me, that kind of struck me as weird. It was like, can that create some kind of imbalance in a locker room from guys going, yeah, I remember when he was my boss, and now he's my, not boss, but still a manager type, and that it just looked like a weird situation to me. But I also understand that, especially in sports, things like that you go after guys that you've already had experiences with. You know what they're going to do. You know how they're going to react to things. You know how they're just going to show up and do their daily jobs. So I think that's also another reason that they brought him in, is just because they know who he is. But he wasn't a big winner for him either. Like, he didn't take them to any kind of promised land. He didn't have them making any really playoff pushes either.
His promised land was mediocre.
Yeah, his promised land was 500.
Which they fired Freddie Gonzalez on May 17th, 2016. So that's when Snit took over. So I don't think that we have anyone left on
I don't think
in the clubhouse from then.
Because that would be, just for me as a player coming into a place, like, well, I'm your manager. Here's the new third base coach, the old manager.
Yeah.
That one to me is just looking at it and going,
Yeah, not sure entirely what they're doing there, but hey, maybe they feel like getting some new faces that could be familiar to some of the guys in the AAA, AA side of things. Maybe switching something up will spark something.
I think that's mostly what this is let's just throw some Jell-O at a wall and let's see if it sticks today. Because that to me is kind of what happened there, because I just don't see it as a long-term investment either.
Yeah.
And they did, in the article, they did say he was acting third base coach. So he is not the permanent third base coach. So this might just be we're going to run through this season, see what happens. I bet Snitker's gone after the end of this season because his contract is out at the end of this season, if I am correct. So I don't really see Brian Snitker coming back. I mean, I bet the Braves would have him back if he wanted back. I just think he's to the point now where he's like, you know what? I've had my ride. I've got my series. I enjoyed it. I'm done, boys. Somebody else take over.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can do this job as long as you want, but it's not always a good idea to do the job as long as you want.
That's a great idea, is kind of getting out before you look washed up at that point. We'll see what ends up happening, though. If the Braves miss the playoffs, I could see a shakeup that Braves fans aren't necessarily ready for, but this core, the last couple of years, and there has been a lot of injuries, yes, no doubt about it, but it hasn't been, when healthy, it hasn't been living up to the expectations. But again, I feel like that's me overreacting, and there's still plenty of time here within the year.
There's still plenty of time in this season, and you've got enough time, with guys like Acuna, if he can stay healthy.
Right.
You got more time with guys like Albies. So, I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. You still got Strider, as long as he can now stay healthy.
They've got
so
the core,
it's got a good core around it, but you're not winning with the other ancillary pieces that are around. And the thing is, we say it in every single sport. You've got to have your stars, but you have got to have those role players to carry you into different things. I think that's truly what happened with the Knicks against the Pacers, was the Pacers had the depth that the Knicks just could not run with.
That's a great point. There is the depth. The Pacers were probably 2 to 3 players deeper, and Tom Thibodeau did not rely on his depth or his bench at all, and just kind of created a lot more stress and
wear and tear.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to put it, because I was going to say tiredness, but just created more wear and tear for especially Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns.
Because you've already been through 82 games, and now you're playing some more.
All the games that you played leading up to, because they go 7 in the first round, I believe, and then they went 6 or 7 with Boston. So
it was a 6-rounder. Yeah, and then how many games did you end up extra playing for the play-in?
They didn't play in the play-in tournament because they were the 3 seed.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I still don't understand the play-in tournament thing.
It's basically just an opportunity for the hotter teams to get in. So, you play 7 versus 8 for the 7 seed, and then 9 and 10 play for the opportunity
not
to
the
play
play-in tournament, the
in-season tournament?
Yeah, the one at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah, but those all count towards your regular season games.
So that does count as regular season games?
Those are part of the 82.
Okay, so you will not go over
the NBA
82.
Cup or whatever. Yeah. You don't play more than 82 games, unless you want to count the preseason games. But as far as that goes, it's considered regular season games.
All right, guys, coming up next, we are going to go back into some college baseball. We will discuss the Super Regionals, and Dave and I will make our picks on who is going to get out of the Supers and make it on into the College World Series. This is the Inside Drive from the Golf Plus Studios.
Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for Braves country.
He just wrecked that thing. Straight away center, a homer for Riley.
Sales, Strider, Acuna, Ozzie, Riley, Profar, and Coach Snitker lead a stellar lineup. Listen live nights and weekends on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products, so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive. And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is the Inside Drive from the Golf Plus Studios. And if you need any golf or golf accessories, head on over, visit Alan Watson at Golf Plus at the Shops of Edgewater, and of course right up there in Dothan, Alabama, off of Montgomery Highway. Big thanks to Golf Plus for helping us get out to all of you right here in Northwest Florida. I am James Fife. With me is David Hayes. This is 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call and you can text the show 850-215-6290. And get ready to call us at 12:20. We are going to be discussing our favorite summer outdoor activities of Northwest Florida. Got some Facebook friends out there. We got Jack Patterson asking us what is going on. And I got to say, Jack, good sports talk radio. What is going on? Thanks for listening. Chef Ross listening in, saying, what up, fellas? And Rick Ty saying, what up, fellas? And giving us the old emojis of the axes, which I always take as chop on. All right, guys. So I told you before we headed out, we are going to be discussing the NCAA Baseball College World Series. We are to the Super Regionals. Dave and I will make our picks on what we think will happen, and we will see how horribly off and wrong we are at the end of this, because I got to say, my bracket from when I created this at the beginning is not good. Not good at all. Considering that if we go through the list of these, 16 teams have advanced on now. And out of those 16 teams, 9 of them were the number 1 seeds in their brackets. And I gotta say, man, only 9 number 1 seeds of brackets making it out. I didn't look it up, didn't have the time to look it up. I probably should have looked it up. Has got to be one of the lower percentages of the higher ranked teams, of the quote-unquote hosting teams, moving on. Because usually if you're hosting, you've got like a 70% chance of moving it on into the Super Regionals. Not the case this time. It was somewhere around a 50% chance of moving on. That was shocking to me, man, especially the big shocker. Number 1, Vanderbilt, gone. Not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was the big shock, I think, of all, was Vanderbilt just, no, we don't want to play anymore. We're done, guys. Thank you very much for letting us into the tournament that you had. Number 2, Texas, doing the same thing, falling out. Not even getting past the first round. That was some craziness, folks. So we will just get into it now. In the first game that I got here on my bracket list, because I still am looking at the NCAA bracket, we got the University of Miami Hurricanes taking on the University of Louisville Cardinals. Now, this would have been a number 1, number 16 bracket, but since number 1 didn't make it out, and neither did number 16 make it out, we're left with the other teams that were in it. So for me, I like the Louisville Cardinals. Good history there, great pitching. I would like to see the Cardinals, and I'm going to bet on the Cardinals making it out of the first round making it out of the Super Regionals in a best of 3 against the Hurricanes of Miami. What you got, Dave?
Ah, man, this one's tough. I think Southern Miss was a quality baseball team, and that's, not saying that Southern Miss was better than Vanderbilt or even trying to go down those lines, but I'm going to go with Miami in this one.
All right, moving on to the next one. We see 2 teams that were ranked and were hosting in the first round, Oregon State and Florida State. Florida State, number 9, Oregon State, number 8. I am going to stick local, and I will say, go Noles.
I'm going to play the villainous role right here. I'll be rooting for Florida State, but I think with them going out west to take on Corvallis, or to Corvallis to take on Oregon State, I'm going to go with the Beavers right here.
Oregon State does got a lot of good baseball history, too.
Yeah, they do.
Has been a very strong team, especially over the last 10 years, making nice runs deep into the College World Series. Next, we will go on to the University of North Carolina, which was ranked number 5 in the brackets, taking on Arizona, which came out of the Eugene bracket. For me, this one is kind of an easier one. North Carolina, absolutely dominant pitching staff. Took it to everybody in their region. It was one of the few regions where the team that was the number one team in the region just absolutely dominated throughout. So give me the Tar Heels.
All right. I'm also going to go with the Tar Heels. I think that's going to be the easier pick. But again, Arizona's not a slouch of a team by any stretch.
Oh, any team that's here by now is no slouch. So you had to kind of run through, well, you had to run through your regular season, had to go through your conference tournaments, and then you had to go through the round robin that we know as the first round here. Auburn taking on Coastal Carolina. That was number 4 Auburn, number 13 Coastal Carolina. And we here at ESPN Northwest Florida are an Auburn affiliate for basketball and, I almost said baseball, but basketball and football.
There you
go.
go.
I will just keep in-house and take the Tigers.
I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. This is, both Ryan Mulvey went to Coastal Carolina. His wife's a huge Auburn fan, so that, he was
tough one.
Baptized in to be to the War Eagledom. But I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina here, which on paper is not an upset, but I think when you look at the brands, to some extent an upset, but give me Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina's got more championships in baseball than Auburn.
There you
We'll point
go.
that one out. One is better than none, always. UCLA, number 15, taking on University Texas San Antonio Road Runners. I'm going to go with the Road Runners on the upset here, other than just gut feeling for me on this one. Nothing else I got.
Let's see. I'll go with, I counted UCLA out, so I will, I'll go with UCLA.
All right, moving on.
I'm not even keeping track of my picks yet because I'm still trying to get through all of.
Trying to get through the other ones on how bad you were at the beginning. Poor Dave. Poor Dave. Looking at how bad he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for the man sitting back there, writing on his little pen. He's got a red pen out. Lots of red ink going down on that piece of paper.
Yeah, man.
It ain't looking good, man.
I'm on my second pen right now.
All right, Duke taking on Murray State. I want to pull for Murray State, but I just think Duke is going to get the win here, being the bigger university. I watched some Murray State baseball because they did play Western Kentucky this year, and they also played Western Kentucky in the Oxford Regionals. And Murray State looks really good. Has a guy on the team that has like a 380 batting average, got on base 40-something games in a row. Quite impressive stuff, but I am going to go with the Duke Blue Devils here.
I'm going to go with Murray State. I think they're going to race to the They got
to race to the World Series?
Yeah.
All right, go Races. LSU taking on West Virginia. West Virginia pulling the upset there, having three walk-off games in that regional. That was
the final one
crazy.
A walk-off, too?
Yeah.
'Cause that's when they beat Kentucky, 13-12?
Yeah, all of them walk-offs. Well, not all of them, but 3 of their wins, walk-offs. Absolutely craziness coming out of West Virginia, though I don't think they can get through the juggernaut that is the Louisiana State University Tigers.
Okay, yeah, that one's probably the second easiest outside of North Carolina. Give me LSU. And they've got West Virginia.
Yep. Arkansas taking on the University of Tennessee. I think Arkansas is the way better program here right now. Tennessee has the much better history, but I cannot upset my mother by picking Arkansas because she went to Tennessee, so I am going to stick with the Orange. Go Vols!
I will go the opposite there. Then I'll take Arkansas to win that. I think Arkansas has a real good shot at winning this whole thing.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. Arkansas has a wonderful opportunity, especially right now. If you look at it, they are the high seed that is left. They came into the tournament number 3. Number 1 went home. Number 2 went home. So what does that mean? Number 3 is the best team still standing into this tournament. That is just odd to me, man.
Odd to me is the fact that I only got one super regional matchup right on here, and that was the Tennessee-Arkansas. Outside of that, there was none that I had 2. I had 2 of them in there. So, man, I only ended up I got UCLA right, LSU right, Tennessee, Arkansas, Auburn, North Carolina, and FSU.
All right, Dave. Good work, man. Good work. Good work back there.
Well, what's your numbers?
Oh, God, I would have to go look at it. I did it at home. I'll bring it with me tomorrow because it ain't great because I'll tell you what, I had Vanderbilt and Texas both going on. Neither of those happened. So I know my bracket was pretty busted. I also chose Western to come out of Oxford because, well, why not?
Right.
Best year we've had since 2009. I'm not going to jump off the train now. I'm going to ride it until we're off. We're off the train now, so I can go somewhere else, I guess. So, yeah, it was crazy, man. Crazy first round. I am hoping for the Super Regionals to be just as crazy, just as fun out there because, man, baseball, you can't predict. I don't like betting on baseball very often. I have been betting against the Rockies lately, but come on, let's say betting against the Rockies right now is like putting your house on the line, and you're most likely still going to get it back because let's just say they're not doing really great out there. So, I mean, great variety, man. We're seeing lots of teams that haven't been here before. We're seeing lots of teams that were ranked falling off. Makes for a lot of excitement, makes for a great watch, makes for people wanting to get involved in the game. We'll go into a little bit of news now before we hit the top of the hour break. So we'll get into some baseball right now. Luke Weaver, Yankees closer, going to be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Pitched against the Dodgers on Saturday night, went 1 inning, gave up a home run. Came into the 9th inning for the Dodgers-Yankees game on Sunday, and while doing his warm-up tosses before the top of the 9th, got a little problem with his hamstring. Did not officially make an appearance in the game because he was pulled during his warm-up, so he did not get a pitch in. So Luke going to be out 4 to 6 weeks for the Yankees. That's not great for their closing position because that's one of the few parts of the Yankees right now that give Yankees fans a little bit of worry is the back end of that bullpen. So we'll just see what happens to the Yankees if they just stay almighty like they usually are, or if they just kind of have a little bit of a slump because they can't get games closed out. And yesterday, Dave, we discussed Randy Johnson and how his number will be retired. Do you know what the Mariners have also said?
They're going to add Ichiro?
They're going to add Ichiro to it. So both Suzuki and Johnson be getting their number 51 retired this year. Read the article, and it's
2026, though, is when they're going to be doing it.
It's going to be, the Ichiro will be like a couple of days after he goes into the Hall of Fame, and they didn't put a date down for Randy Johnson. So I don't know if they're doing it at the same time.
They got to do it at the same time. Or if they're going to do it at different times because they didn't give a date for Johnson, which was weird to me. It's like, why don't you put down you say you're going to retire Randy Johnson's number. Why didn't you tell me what day it is in case I'm a big Randy Johnson fan and I want to fly up to Seattle to watch this? Yeah.
That would have made more sense to me. I would love to see it at the same time. I think that would be great. I don't know if baseball has ever had a dual number retirement of the same number on the same day.
I would highly
doubt that because usually you don't get two guys in a close enough time period that are just that absolutely great that they get their number retired basically at the same time because they were basically playing
I feel like if we're not talking about Ichiro and Randy Johnson, which, Randy Johnson's up there in age and a little bit wiser now, and I don't know if he was a hothead when he was younger in the league or anything like that, but I would imagine that you would have an ego issue with some players retiring the same number for two different players.
I don't think Suzuki's going to have a problem with it because he just looks like
no.
I don't.
Guy. I'm not saying for this particular situation. I'm saying if there was another situation where you do have like an egotistical, getting your number retired is somewhat of a you know what I mean? Like
so you're saying don't have a retirement with Ocho Cinco.
Well, yeah. If someone else were to be on the Bengals and wear 85 and, just if it was Jamar Chase, like I don't think you would see something like this happen in football, especially at the wide receiver position.
No, way too much drama. Way too much drama, but could be fun because it's way too much drama. Oh, if we want to stick with some NFL drama, let's discuss Diggs on a boat.
Diggs on a boat.
Diggs
There
on
you
a
go.
boat. Didn't go to the voluntary OTAs last week, but did go this week. And again, voluntary, key word here, so he does not have to show up to these things, though I know coaches want every single player to show up, and I understand why they want every single player to show up. So I will ask you this, Dave. Is this a distraction, a problem, or is it simply just overblowing?
I mean, I think the latter of the three choices is the biggest one. Could it be a distraction for a couple of days till the media stops talking about it, which is pretty much now, you know? I would say it's overblown. Like, no one knows what's in those bags. No one saw Stephon taking what's in those bags. So to me, with assuming, sure, you can make a bigger deal out of this, but as long as him and Mike Vrabel and Robert Kraft have sat down and said, hey, look, we don't need those type of distractions moving forward. We understand that maybe from your perspective, this was off-season and stuff like that, but try to be a little bit more careful. You're in New England now, not Houston, not Buffalo, not Minnesota. So, but I think that it's overblown for the most part. Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. I think it's overblown. Again, voluntary. I'm more worried about him not showing up to the practices really than what's going on the boat. Because whatever you want to do in your off time, your business. Right. Do what you want, man. That's why you have your own off time. Now, showing up for the practices, and he's there now. He is there now. He was actually the first veteran wide receiver to even show up to OTAs. So, I mean, he's not even like the last guy to show up. So I think it's an overblown thing, but I like how people are trying to bring back the old Minnesota Vikings Dante Culpepper on a boat thing. But I think this is an absolutely, totally different thing, has absolutely nothing related to do. And I think you want to kind of keep the guy happy. You got a brand new shiny quarterback there. You don't want to get him injured, but you also want to have a target who is capable out there that you can throw it to. You know, you need sometimes just that guy, I got pressure coming to me, I can throw it up, and I know Stiggs will come down with it. So you don't want to make him mad either. Well, you don't want to make the team mad, but you don't want to make the player mad either. You know, there is a fine line everybody's got to walk here. That's fair. Yeah, there's a fine line, but I don't know if Steph is still the player who, like, you just throw the ball up and he comes down with it every time. I think, of course, he's a talented wide receiver, but I don't think that he's still at that, or he is still that elite of a wide receiver. And at the end of the day, it's the Patriots way, right? It's not about trying to keep Stephon Diggs. Mike Vrabel is not a guy who's going to work on trying to keep a singular player happy. No. And he is coming off of the ACL tear that he had at the end of last season, you know. So you don't want to work him too hard. You want to kind of bring him in slowly, because we saw with Ronald Acuna, you got to bring an ACL tear in slowly, especially in football where there is much more contact than in baseball. Top of the hour, everybody. When we come back, it will be the afternoon and the afternoon delight. James Fife, David Hayes, Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most college and local sports anywhere on the Panhandle. Join the Coach Hale Show, mornings from 7 to 9, live from the J. Michaels studio.
Best seafood, the Coles beer.
High school coverage, the SEC and beyond. It's all right here. Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Of course, it helps when you're a multi-millionaire.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. For this afternoon and evening, a variety of very light rain and mostly sunshine, and a high of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning, followed by likely thunderstorms, and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light rain Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting is a fifth-generation contracting company based right here out of Bay County. TK Vandy's expertise in commercial and residential roofing, as well as a design, build general contractor, set them aside as a versatile and fresh alternative to achieve your construction needs. Contact TK Vandy Roofing, 850-866-9908, or email support@tkvandy.com. They can't wait to help you.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's been an up-and-down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A two-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show, 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight. ESPN Northwest Florida. This is the Inside Drive, brought to you by Golf Plus. James Fife here, filling in for Ryan Mulvey on this Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to all the listeners out there. David Hayes with me, hitting the ones, hitting the twos, making it happen, making it go out to that beautiful wide world that we know as Northwest Florida. And you can also see us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. I think Twitter is now called X, but whatever you want to call it, we are there. Also, download the app. You can get it from the Google Play Store. You can get it from the Apple Store. ESPN Northwest Florida. Download us. Take us with you everywhere. Braves coverage tonight. First pitch, 6:15. Pre-game coverage, 6 o'clock after the afternoon underdogs with David Hayes and a cast of characters. Who we got today in the afternoon, Dave?
Caveman Rick, Chef Ross, and Tyler Bishop. We'll have some guests on today. Alan Watson's going to join us because he's going out of town soon. And then we'll have, Javian Elliott is going to join us. Right. He's going to be coaching at Rutherford this year. He's got a camp coming up this Friday, so we're going to talk about that, promote that a little bit, and then also his career. He was a walk-on at Florida State, ended up getting a scholarship his senior year, and then went on to play pro ball, I believe, by winning tryouts as well. Undrafted free agent with the Buccaneers. So
man, be working. I love it. Love it. Always like when we get the local coaches on.
Yes, sir.
Because we are local radio, everyone, and make sure to vote for this local radio station, both the Inside Drive and the Coach James Hale Show, for the Best of Bay People's Choice Awards. So we have gone from good morning to good afternoon, and we are at the Afternoon Delight, and I will open with this lovely story. A Maryland woman is facing charges after police in Florida said she hit a child who made fun of her weight on a flight from Orlando. Charging documents WJZ obtained says she slammed the child's head into the window of the plane. Christy Crampton, 46, of Hagerstown, appeared in court earlier this week for child abuse charges after the incident on an Allegiant flight from Orlando to Hagerstown on Memorial Day. Charging documents state she began hitting the juvenile with her fist and then a water bottle and slammed his head into the airplane window. Police did not detail Crampton's relationship to the child. She told authorities he became disrespectful during their trip to Disney World, and when they got onto the plane, they got into an argument and the juvenile began calling her fat and Miss Piggy. Police wrote she decided to take the phone away from him, and he got angry. He pushed her arm off the armrest twice before she responded by smacking him. One witness told officers the woman was not correcting the child, she was abusing him, whipping the expletive out of the kid. WJZ reached out to Crampton, but did not immediately hear back. I wonder what the relationship to the kid is. This sounds like an aunt that was just getting mad at a nephew.
I don't know. This is this segment is I'm the least helpful in this. I feel like this segment was built because Jay is just great at reacting to these, and I'm just like, I didn't really hear what you just said. I'm sorry. I'm over here working.
You got one for me? If not, I'll
no, I do not. I do not. I'm actually, actually a little bit of a debrief right now. I've been put to a task by one of my fantasy football groups, and this has nothing to do with fantasy football, to go back and find the champions by conference in the last 25 years. So my brain got attracted to that, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it for football, men's basketball, baseball, softball, women's basketball, men and women's soccer.
So this is all NCAA champions in the last 25 years?
Yeah. Yep.
Couldn't you just go to ChatGPT and say, give this to me?
Yeah, but then I got to count them out like that.
That's true, too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm in the process of doing right now. So the woman whooped her kid too much? Is that basically what that is?
Well, the article did not say the relationship to the child.
Oh, there is that.
But with their reaction to each other and how kind of they knew each other and how she could, grab a phone and he immediately called her Miss Piggy, that to me says you two at least kind of know each other somewhere along the line of life. Because usually if it's a total stranger, even if you're a kid that's not going to behave, you're probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
Or if you're an adult, you're probably not going to smack them when they need to get smacked.
There you go.
So, yeah, not looking good for her. So we'll just see what happens to Miss Piggy and the Court of Appeals that will happen. All right, next. Okay, this one comes from Washington State. Millions of bees escaped from an overturned truck in the U.S. state of Washington on Friday, sparking warnings from authorities for public to avoid the swarm. Emergency officials were helped by several master beekeepers after the truck, which had been hauling roughly 70,000 pounds of active honeybee hives, flipped over on a road near the Canadian border. The goal is to save as many bees as possible, Whatcom County Sheriff's Office said shortly after the incident. The authorities said that the site of the crash would remain closed until the rescue is complete. WCSO urged people to avoid the area due to the potential of bees escaping and swarming, and initially said 250 million bees were loose. After receiving information from one of the beekeepers doing recovery work, it said that more accurate total would be closer to about 14 million bees. The plan is to allow the bees to rehive and find their queen bee, WCSO said. Authorities said that they hoped that they would happen within the next 24 to 48 hours. In an update posted to social media later on Friday, police thanked the wonderful community of beekeepers, saying over 24 had turned up to help with the rescue efforts. By morning, most of the bees should be returned to their hives, WCSO wrote on their Facebook. Footage shared by police showed huge numbers of bees swarming around the overturned lorry. That's British for truck. While some beekeepers aim to produce honey, many others rent out their hives to farmers who need the insects to pollinate their crops. So interesting on that one. I actually used to rent out beehives when I was living in Kentucky to local farmers. Charged them $100 a month. I put a beehive out at the corner of whatever field they wanted at the end of the month. Pick up the beehive, get my $100. And get to keep the honey out of the beehive as well. It was a nice, lucrative business that I was running there. I really enjoyed it. Now we got a couple of beehives down here, so hopefully I can get some more beehives, and I might be able to do that around here. Might be kind of fun. If not, I'd like to take my hives somewhere near some tupelo trees so I can get some of that tupelo honey because people go nuts on it.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah,
my brother just started getting into making beehives and whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's hot. It's heavy.
I bet.
But it is fun, and a lot of people, thinking about how does this work. So what'll happen is you're going to take all the boxes that flipped over. You're just going to put them right way back up, facing up. And bees will return to the hive that they came from because they will smell their queen and go back into the hive. And that'll usually happen somewhere around dark. So once it gets dark, most of the bees will be back in, and you just kind of stuff the openings, close them up, put them back on the truck, send them on down the road. Shouldn't have lost really too many unless one of the boxes just absolutely just got crushed and demolished and destroyed and flew open. So, yeah, interesting story right there. And I enjoy my bees. Got to work them this weekend. That was fun.
Yeah.
Figured out that the 2 hives that I got that were splits didn't get a queen in them. So my wife's going up Wednesday to one of the local apiaries to pick up a queen that we can dump into our hive. So that way it'll keep on going.
Hey, there you go. Keep them bees a-hiving and a-buzzing.
Keep them happy, man. Keep them happy. Keep them happy. All right. One more story for you on the Afternoon Delight. Charlottesville, Virginia. An activist for pedestrian safety in Virginia is facing charges after creating a makeshift crosswalk at a dangerous intersection in what the city calls an act of vandalism. Kevin Cox is a well-known around Charlottesville for his outspoken advocacy for pedestrian safety. The intersection of Elliott Avenue and 2nd Street Southeast is one of the places he has a gripe with, WVIR reports. The speed of the cars is the biggest problem, Cox said. They drive too fast and they ignore pedestrians. A 64-year-old woman was hit and killed in the area on October 2024 while trying to cross the road on her way to work. After pleading with the city for a crosswalk to no avail, Cox decided to take matters into his own hands, and he made his own makeshift crosswalk late Saturday night, cheered on by a small crowd of supporters. I walked across the street with a line marker with a can of spray chalk, not paint, Cox said. The crosswalk caught the attention of both police and the city. According to a police report Cox shared with WVIR, officers could not determine if the crosswalk was created using permanent paint. The city decided the markings could not be removed, so staff painted over them with black paint. The report also states that the same day Cox made the makeshift crosswalk, he emailed city manager Sam Sanders, writing in part, quote, "There is a marked crosswalk now at 2nd Street and Elliott Avenue in spite of you. It's chalk, not paint. Please replace it with a real one." Cox turned himself into police last Wednesday after he was contacted about what in the vandalism. He is facing misdemeanor charges for the intentional destruction of property with value of less than $1,000. That can mean up to 12 months in jail and up to a $2,500 fine. "They have provoked me, and it's not going to stop," Cox said. Cox made his first court appearance Tuesday, where his trial date was set for June 14th. He is being represented by Charlottesville-based lawyer Peter Frazier. The city said it would not comment on the case because the matter is pending in court. Good for him.
Good for him. There you go. So back over here to my problem real quick. I guess I just got to go back, and I can't give championships to the SEC before Texas and Oklahoma were in the SEC, right?
I wouldn't. I would still
give
them
those
to the 12.
So I got a couple of things to research as far as Maryland and Syracuse go in college basketball, because I believe Syracuse probably in their first couple of championships in the early aughts were Big East.
They were East.
Yeah,
that was total Big East.
Yeah, and then you had
Maryland's would have been
ACC, right?
Yeah, it would have been before they jumped ship.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so that would have been ACC on that. I don't think they've really done a whole lot on the basketball side of things since joining the 10.
Yeah. I think I've just got 2 for the Big Ten, but I'll have to go back and verify those as well because I think I was giving a little extra love.
Oh, that's okay. They need the love.
Yeah, they do.
They need the love now, man. They ain't getting none no more. All right, some more news of the world right now. We'll talk a little bit of golf because, this is a golf show. Cameron Young sinks a 12-foot putt during a 5-way playoff yesterday to earn his spot in the upcoming U.S. Open. Not quite sure how the U.S. Open works, Dave. If you've got a clue on how it works.
Well, they have like qualifiers. It's a major, but they have qualifiers. So what happened again?
Cameron Young, he sunk a 12-foot putt on a 5-way playoff yesterday to earn his spot into the U.S. Open.
Okay, so he was probably playing in a qualifier somewhere like they had, a tournament playing for guys who were trying to achieve, I guess you would have your tour card and then you'd have to win a tournament. So, yeah, he won the playoff and then found himself with a spot in the U.S. Open.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
That is coming up this weekend or next?
U.S. Open should probably be the same weekend as Father's Day, so I would imagine it's not this week coming up, but next, they gave me tennis. Let's go to golf here. That's going to be June 12th through the 15th, so not this weekend, but the next weekend.
All right, there we go. Congratulations to you, Mr. Young.
Yeah, Cam Young.
All right, more NFL news. Lions center Frank Ragnow has retired from the National Football League after making 4 Pro Bowls. So congratulations to him on, the 4 Pro Bowls and a great NFL career. I kind of worry a little bit about the Lions because, let's face it, the center, while most people look at the left tackle as being the most important part of the line, and the left tackle probably is the most important part of the line, let's face it, the center is the heart of that line. That is usually the guy that's making the calls for the line. That's usually the guy that will bring the offensive line together and, kind of motivate them around. So I just wonder what the Lions are going to have to do to, did they draft anybody at the center spot? I don't think they did.
I don't think so, no.
So, hopefully they either got a great backup or they can find somebody that's sitting around going, hey, I would like to collect a paycheck to play center. Because this kind of happened late in, the offseason time period where they could have gone out and, really, really done, their research and really tried to find somebody in the free agent market and or gone out and drafted somebody that they were like, you know what, we can draft this guy and we can develop him into a good center. But, hey, man, when you say it's time to stop playing a violent sport, listen to your body, man.
Yeah.
Stop playing. Take the money and run. And trust me, the dude got the money. So congratulations to him and his family now that he's going to probably get to spend a lot more time with.
Yeah, weird timing on this. You would like for you to at least know a situation like this before the draft so that you're not kind of blindsided here in this position. And the Lions, what have they been known for over the last couple of years? Having a very strong offensive line. So the protection for Jared Goff could suffer due to that. And then that also hurts the run game as well. So we'll see what the Lions do to plug that up. Maybe they already had a center in the weight that they had a lot of faith in.
Well, hopefully they got a good backup guy that they're just like, well, your time, son. You go shine.
Yes, sir.
All right, more football news. The Steelers now not looking to trade with the Dolphins for Jonnu Smith. I know that was a big conversation for the last few days where I think it could have helped the Steelers out, but I think the Steelers need more help than just Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
Because, Jonnu Smith, great tight end. I remember him from his wonderful times with the Tennessee Titans. Getting a little bit older in age. Yeah. But, still totally serviceable, still did fine work with the Dolphins. So probably stay with the Dolphins, even though I think he wanted out.
I feel like he would fit in better with the Dolphins than what he would with the Steelers. Outside of the Steelers need a receiving threat more so than what the Dolphins do, but I feel like he fits that mold better in Miami, how the offense is a little bit more quick and whatnot. And Jonnu's a better receiving threat as a tight end than what he is as a blocker.
Than a blocker, yeah. He's not He can block, but he's not, the guy that you're going to line up next to the tackle to use as a secondary tackle. He's more of like a chip guy. But you got to have those guys too. And in this day in football, that's what we mostly see now is, tight ends that are there to catch the football, not really tight ends that are there to block anymore because, well, let's face it, it's a passing league now. So you want to collect those passing yards when you can. Right. I think he probably would have a better fit in Pittsburgh because, well, who's the quarterback in Pittsburgh? Exactly. We don't know.
So why would that make him a better fit over there?
Well, because the Dolphins have a better wide receiving core, so that means that those guys will more than likely be open more often, so you don't have to use that emergency valve of the tight end. Where if you don't really have the wide receiver core, you're going to have that quarterback going, I got nothing open, tight end up.
Yeah.
So, that's my thought process on it, however right or wrong that it happens to be. But, hey, we are here again. What do we want to talk about next? Well, next, give us a call, give us a text, 850-215-6290, because we are going to discuss our favorite summer outdoor activities for Northwest Florida. This is the Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida, brought to us by Golf Plus.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The finger pointing has started in New York, and most of the fingers are pointed at Karl Anthony Towns. So there were reports out of New York suggesting the team grew increasingly frustrated with Karl Anthony Towns' defensive habits throughout the playoffs. This isn't a new revelation.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida. The remainder of the day, a mixture of light sprinkles and mostly sunshine and a temperature of 88 with wind 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the south-southeast. Partly cloudy skies and light sprinkles tonight and warm near 75. Partly sunny in the morning but otherwise likely thunderstorms and 84 tomorrow. 85 and a chance of thunderstorms and light showers Thursday. This is your Tuesday's weather brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The Memorial Day mattress sale continues here at the Sleep Center. Stop by the Sleep Center and you can save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Tempur-Pedic, made in the USA and available at
Sleep Center, where it's bedtime all day long.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
The Memorial Day mattress sale continues here at the Sleep Center. Stop by the Sleep Center and you can save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Tempur-Pedic, made in the USA and available at
Sleep Center, where it's bedtime all day long.
What does it take to live an uncommon life? Here's former Super Bowl winning coach Tony Dungy with today's uncommon moment.
A family from Indianapolis lost their daughter, Tessa, a student at the University of Tampa, in a car accident. When Tessa's father spoke at the memorial service, he noted that while he and his family were grieving, they took solace in knowing that they would see Tessa again. And then he said, "But for those of you who don't believe in Jesus, you've seen Tessa for the last time." Then he urged each person there to enter into a relationship with Christ. Jesus is the one and only way to an everlasting life with God. Have you shared, taught, and ingrained that within your family so that each one of them is a child of the living Lord?
Tony Dungy, author of the popular Uncommon book series. More at CoachDungy.com. That's CoachDungy.com.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Live from the 19th hole.
I can't believe you're a professional golfer. I think you should be working at the snack bar.
It's the Inside Drive.
The price is wrong.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
In Inside Drive here on ESPN Northwest Florida. James Fife here on this Tuesday. David Hayes here as well. And I just got a text from the fine people at PCB to keep us safe that the flags today on the beach are yellow. So head out and enjoy this beautiful day with the beautiful beaches that we have right here in Northwest Florida. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290 and be sure to be voting for ESPN Northwest Florida as the Coach James Hale Show and the Inside Drive are nominated for the Best of Bay. We need you to get out there and vote, so that way we are the best local radio right here in Northwest Florida. Braves are on the airwaves tonight. We will be joining at 6 o'clock for the pregame festivities and 6:15 for the first pitch against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And coming up the 14th, it is Pop's Pig Pickin' Barbecue. This will be the 4th annual. Will be held at the Break Room on 2727 Joan Avenue. And this is Chef Ross's thing. He does this every year for in remembrance of his father. And he also uses all of the proceeds from this event to benefit hurricane relief. So great thing that, Chef Ross does out there. So a hurricane comes through here, comes through Alabama, comes through Louisiana. He doesn't care. He gets his gear, he heads on over, and he feeds the people in a time when the people need it. So head on out, support this great cause. 12 to 6, June 14th at the Break Room. So like I said, we are going to discuss our outdoor activities here in Northwest Florida. Told you that the flags are yellow today, so that means one of the activities that you can do out here, just enjoy the beautiful beach, go for a swim in the ocean. Great day to do it. Water is about 86 degrees. Flags are yellow. So for me, sports kind of running down. We're coming into the College World Series.
Yeah.
We're coming into the Softball College World Series. We're coming up to the Stanley Cup. We're coming up to the NBA Finals. And after those things wrap up, we're just down to some golf, down to some NASCAR, and down to some baseball. So a lot of people call the summertime the lull in sports. So if we got a little bit of a break, we can get away from the TV, get away from the radio, but don't go too far. And you can always take us with you, too. What do we do in the great outdoors of Northwest Florida to keep ourselves entertained and to just have some enjoyment? So one of my things is...
Rice State Chris texted in. He says, if mowing your yard isn't enjoyable to you, you better make it enjoyable because you're going to be doing it a lot.
A lot.
That's a good one.
Especially right now when we're getting into that kind of rainy afternoon season where it kind of rains every afternoon. Mm-hmm. I sometimes know I can hear that grass growing. But luckily for me, mowing's not too bad because I just go over to that goat yard, open the door, and let them run.
Get after it, boys.
Get it, boys. Get it. So that's I did that yesterday for probably about, about 2 hours. I had my little cows out, and I had my goats out, and they're just going to town on the front yard. I'm like, thanks, guys. I did not want to push mow and weed eat this. I appreciate all of your efforts. So with the baseball running, with baseball basically being the only thing that I am going to be watching, what am I going to be doing outside? Well, I like to at least once a week go kayaking with my wife.
Yeah.
We get our kayaks and we hit up the springs, we hit up the lakes, we hit up the creeks, just anything around here really, because there are so many great places here in Bay County and just around Northwest Florida that are totally awesome places to just drop a kayak in and just enjoy the paddle. And one of the other nice things, too, that I really love about kayaking is I already own the kayaks. I don't got to pay to get in the water.
Yeah.
So it is great for me because I'm a little bit cheap like that. I'm a little bit frugal like that. So any kind of activity for me where I can be outdoors, enjoying nature, and it doesn't cost me money.
Yeah.
So such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I'll be fine just like taking a walk down Beach Drive or down there on the actual bay. I love to hit up the creeks every now and then, especially the springs. I don't do that as often as what I would like to do. Let's see, outside of that, man, really anything with music, but that's a year-round activity, not necessarily a summer activity. I like the fresh water a whole lot more than I like the salt water. I like the atmosphere of the beach and the bay and everything, but if I get sunburnt and I get out there in the sunwater or in the salt water, the peeling process, you know, it just feels like there's like a million little bugs when your skin starts to break, and I cannot stand that. I'll just take Benadryl and go to sleep.
Sleep right there and just improve on that burn, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, not out in the sun. I'm saying when the peeling process starts. So like the first couple of days, it just hurts.
Yeah, it's just that red.
And you just like, you get out of the shower, you can't even, actually dry off.
Yeah,
with
you don't
the
dry
towel.
off. You just kind of like slightly shake your arms and hope it falls to the ground.
Yeah, and then like a day after that, your skin kind of starts to break, and it's just the worst feeling, man.
Do you ever try to see how much skin you can peel off in like one long pull?
But the thing is now as I've gotten older, and I don't just I burn like once a year, and then as long as I kind of maintain that tan a little bit, I don't really burn for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Like when I'm going out to a pool or just like heading out on the kayaks, I'll do a light spray, to keep me, protected from the sun with my sunscreen. But I do want to get a little bit of a tan because I do a lot of stuff outside.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy being outside. Now, this time of day, where it's getting to the 1 o'clock time, maybe a little siesta right now.
Right.
Get out of the main heat of it. But by the afternoon, I'll be back out again and enjoying stuff. One of the other things I truly love about summer around here is I am an avid scuba diver.
Yeah.
I love diving. And we have a great place here at St. Andrew State Park where we can just walk off and go diving, which not many places in the Florida Panhandle you can do that, So being right here in Panama City Beach and having a spot where I can literally park my car, walk to the table, put my gear on, walk out to the water, and I am there. An awesome thing. There's some other places around here you can do that too. There's a little bit of a spot in Port St. Joe off of the Cape. If you go to the very northwestern part of the Cape, there is a old shipwreck. That's an old wooden shipwreck that's about a quarter mile off the Cape that you can, park your car there,
right,
and swim out to it. So that's another good spot to go to. But if not, I got a couple of little boats around here that I'll hop on with some of the dive shops and head on out and go see some of the fancy wrecks that we got out there. So lots of fun out there in the summer, seeing a lot of cool fish, sharks, turtles, rays.
Do you do any spearfishing?
I'm too lazy.
I'm
too lazy. I'll admit that one. I'll admit that one. I'm too lazy. I'm not really that much of a fisherman. I try fishing. I'm more of a worm drowner.
Okay. There you go.
I'll put the worms on there. I'll put the crickets on there. I'll throw them out there, and they will just come back all drowned and dead. It's not... my wife, though, she can throw that thing out there, and she just brings them in. And I can be standing right next to her. No, nothing. It's like the fish know. The fish know. They will be there, and they'll see like 5 hooks sitting there, and they'll go, that one right there, that guy's at the end of it. Don't touch that one. Go to any of the other ones. And that is my luck with fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not I got my fishing license. I got my gear. I try.
But it just don't work out for you.
It's just not. It's just not my thing in this world. It has been told to me.
You need to go fishing at golf course ponds.
Yeah, yes. I need to go fishing at the Pay Lake.
Yeah.
I even had a stocked, when I was in Kentucky, we had 2 stocked ponds on our property. Guess what I'm doing? Not catching anything. These things are stocked. I know I put you fishing there. Why are you not touching this?
If you ain't catching fish at a stocked pond, you might as well just go ahead and give your pole away to somebody.
That's your time to say, you guys win.
Yeah.
You guys win. You guys win. That's it. Another thing that I am going to be doing here in the summer is I enjoy doing all of my outdoor activities with my farm. We're going to have to shave one of the llamas coming up. Not hard, but you got to do it. Well, one of them's pretty difficult. The other one just stands there and lets you do it. The other one's mean. So, yeah, it's outdoor time. I am enjoying it. I'm trying to think of the other stuff that I like to do outdoors. But a lot of the stuff I do outdoors, water-related, which makes a lot of sense being down here in Florida because guess what? It is everywhere.
Yeah. Water-related. I mean, I used to like to skimboard and stuff. Paddleboarding is probably the most fun. Like I prefer that over kayaking just because, man, like you get in the creek and it's a whole lot easier to go against that current than it is when you're on a kayak or a canoe.
I've not paddleboarded any of the creeks. I should probably try that sometime.
Yeah, if you got a paddleboard, that's the way to do it, man.
I don't have a paddleboard. I got canoes and I got kayaks.
Yeah.
So my wife enjoys some paddleboarding. She's done it before different places. I've just always either canoed or kayaks.
Yeah.
Just because that's what I grew up doing. Right. So it's just my familiarity zone, and I always do love it.
Hey, I love canoeing down Ecofina and just running into as many spider webs as I can.
Oh, I did the Ecofina last week on a kayak, did the northern section of it.
Yeah.
Still not totally cleared from Michael.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine so.
Ooh, there's some spots there where I was like, I'm going to have to get out to go through this, but I took my time. My wife took her time, and we got through everything, didn't have to get out, so happy with that. You know, didn't have to either tumble out and swim under and pull the kayak over or, you know, pull out and walk around it. So I always enjoy those kind of adventures like that, especially when you don't know what's coming.
Yeah, and I mean, out there in nature, you never know what's coming. But I'm surprised that they've gotten as much cleared out as they have since Hurricane Michael, because right afterwards, I mean, it was a mess out there.
Oh, it was. I mean, and you lost I missed the cover, like all the tree cover that you had. Because you used to be able to, like, you could get kind of close to the edges and you could kayak and you'd stay under, you know, some shade, but it's not there no more. Michael took all of that coverage down, man. It was sad. Sad. But it's nice to see some of the trees are starting to grow back. It's nice to see that some of the logs that were jamming up places are starting to get broken down and starting to flow down, so we got more open activity there. But they did an excellent job, you know, really clearing it out from like 20 all the way down to Deer Point Lake now. It's pretty clean that you can, you know, just drop on in at 20 and just kayak all the way down to the dam if you want. Haven't done that yet. I want to do that. I live one property off of the Ecofina, and I would love to walk through my neighbor's property, drop in where he is, and just kayak all the way down to the lake. And then get out. My parents have a house on the lake, so then I can get out on the lake, you know, and not really miss out on anything. But I would like to do that one day. I'm not quite sure how many miles that would be. I'd probably assume it's probably about 10, 12 miles. But it'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, bring your tent with you, too, just in case you don't make it all the way and get out there on the bank and
get out there on the bank, or, you know, bring a nice tent, you know. Can't take too much because it's kayak, so you don't want to weigh yourself down too much. And I'm already kind of a big guy.
Just do the canoe instead, then.
There you go. I haven't thought about that. I have not taken a canoe out there, but I need to.
It would probably be a little bit more a little bit more difficult to navigate around all the down trees compared to a kayak.
Yeah, a little harder.
I imagine you got. Is it a plastic kayak or?
I got plastic kayaks.
Yeah.
I've got fishing kayaks, sit in, sit on. I got a whole bunch of them. My wife bought, I don't know, maybe 10 of them during COVID.
I don't like this one. I like this one a little bit better.
No. It was like towards the end of COVID, you know, when people couldn't do stuff. So everybody went out and like bought kayaks, figured it out wasn't for them, and then we're selling them for like $100 on Marketplace. And my wife was like, mine.
Yeah.
Anytime that one came up for like 150 or less that looked in good condition, like it was bought during COVID, she was like, nope, mine. Nope, mine.
Thank you very much.
So now we got a whole bunch of them. We take people out, you know, anytime friends come around, it's like, hey, you want to go kayaking? Well, tough, we're going. Because we have a lot of fun doing on that one, man. So anything else you like doing outdoors during the summer, Dave?
No, I mean, once August comes, that's it. That's my time of I'm done being outside at that point, especially like late third week of August or so. Then, it's kind of transitioning to get ready for college football season. So I start, practicing my couch sits and whatnot.
You ready for some football? I mean, we are getting towards that time already, and I like it.
We are, but I over the last 2 years, I've really tried to take more advantage of this time of the year where, my eyes aren't glued to the TV. Even before I was doing sports radio, like when football season was on, or when it was football season, I'm sitting there watching college football and watching the NFL. Once you get to football season, though, time goes by so fast. Not only am I busy watching the sports, but time it seems to fly by. So I've really tried to take more advantage and slow down a little bit during these months. I mean, it's taken a lot of mental fortitude in a sense to say, sports don't even really matter right now. Like, just kind of take this summer and have fun. So I'm not going to sit there glued to the TV watching baseball just so I can talk about it on here. I can read about stuff and...
Well, that's kind of the nice thing about baseball, too, is because we do get enough games that you don't have to, sit there and digest every single game that comes through like you do. Well, college football, you basically have to. You only got 12.
Yeah.
You've got to have those wins. You've got to pay attention because you've only got those 12 games. Very similar to the NFL. You've got 17 games. You've got to pay attention because you can miss something just in one play. Makes a major difference to the rest of the season. I mean, it can happen in baseball too, but you get more of a chance to make up that error later on in the season with baseball because you got 162 games.
Yeah.
So so enjoy the summer, everybody. It is here. It is upon us. And when we get back to the Inside Drive, $2 bets. And this day in history, James Fife, David Hayes, ESPN 104.3 Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers have something in common. Neither take the duty of quarterback with great urgency. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost their left tackle, their two quarterbacks, their top receiver, and a really good running back in Najee Harris. And their answer is, I think Aaron's our quarterback. We're not really sure.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right, she has over 20 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within a week, so don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset your diamond into a new setting and even custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 50 years.
Father's Day is coming soon, and you want your special dad to be recognized as the world's greatest, right? A gift from That Boot Store will be just the thing to show you really care. Select from a huge selection of name brand Western wear in sizes to fit any dad, young and old, and at a price you can afford. For that hardworking dad, Carhartt work clothes will be the perfect gift. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 5:30. Next to Billboard Kia on 15th Street, Panama City. That Boot Store, where God is good all the time.
Is your restaurant looking a little tired from the long off season? Is your office a little offish? Start the new year off right by giving them a fresh start. Fresh Start Cleaning is now accepting new clients. Ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services. Fresh Start Cleaning. Get clean again with Fresh Start. Call 850-771-6917, 771-6917, and ask about their complimentary hood cleaning services.
It's been an up and down start for the 2025 Atlanta Braves, which means every win counts more than ever.
1-2, he hits one well. Deep left field. Gonna head back to the wall. Boom! A two-run home run!
Tonight, the Braves homestand rolls on as Austin Riley leads Atlanta into a huge NL battle with the Arizona Diamondbacks at Truist Park.
Pre-game show, 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
With all the changes we're experiencing, don't forget this one important aspect of your kids' lives. Doug Chamberlain with the Samaritan Ministries Family Health Checkup. Normally, there's a lot for kids to do this time of year, but these days we've had to get creative about keeping them busy. And we have a great opportunity right now amidst all the changes to help them stay connected to God. Here's some ideas. Teach them to look for opportunities to bless others, like sending a card to a shut-in or to someone with an illness. How about a video chat with a missionary? Next, memorizing scripture is always a great idea, and make it fun with a rewards chart. If you're able to go for a walk, have them take notice of God's creation around them and talk with them about what they see. There's so many things you can do to point them to God during this season, so be creative and take advantage of this time together with your kids. For more, visit us on Facebook or at familyhealthcheckup.org.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Monster, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive.
This is the Inside Drive here on ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3 right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. Call the show, text the show 850-215-6290 and be voting for the Inside Drive or the Coach James Hale Show for personality in the Best of Bay. Just head on over to ESPN.com and you can get access to vote for ESPN 104.3 with either Ryan Mulvey or the Coach James Hale Show for Best Radio Personality in the Best of Bay. Let us keep that award right here in-house as the best local radio station in the Panhandle. So, what are we going to do? Oh, yes, I know what we're going to do. We're going to talk our $2 bets because I like betting, but I'm also a cheapskate.
Yeah, there you go. Best of both worlds.
$2 it is. So I will open up the betting. I will take the Marlins to win over the Rockies. My $2 bet, if it hits, will return me $3.14. Dave.
Let me see here. I got to get over there to it real quick. $2 bet, we're just doing MLB right here?
That's the only thing going on unless you want to do some table tennis.
Well, you know, I do love my table tennis. I'll probably just take a daggum $2 bet on all of the teams I think would win tonight. Skeens must be on the mound tonight for them to be a favorite against... Yeah, Paul Skeens is going against the Stros, but man, that's still tough for me.
That's tough on that one.
Let's see. Let me build a small little parlay here of just teams that I automatically think will win. I'm going to go Cubs, Marlins, which I'd put the house on the Marlins tonight, right? And probably...
Well, they lost last night, so I'm assuming they're not going to lose again tonight.
Right, which I would find a way to end up losing that. Milwaukee, Cincinnati, that was kind of a fun game last night. Stay away from the Braves games now. Tampa Bay, Texas is tough. I'll go with Detroit over Chicago. The White Sox there. Let me get... everything else is a little bit too close for my liking. In fact, I trust the A's to kind of come back and win tonight. So a $2 bet off a $3 or off a 3-bet parlay, Cubs, Marlins, Tigers, $2 to win $7.94. Let's go ahead and up the ante to $5 to try to win 20. Now, let's see. How much should I actually put on this tonight? $2 won $8, but that's not enough for the confidence that I have in this parlay tonight.
20. Go 20.
All right, 20 to win, 79.44, locked in live here on the Inside Drive with James 5.
All right, I got a same game 4-leg parlay here for my next one. I got the Cubs winning. I am taking the over at 9.5. I am taking Pete Crow Armstrong for over half a hit, and I am taking Seiya Suzuki on the over at a half of hit. So my $2 bet, if it hits, will return me $9.50.
What's the battle of the bets tonight? Wings versus Storm. How many total points will be scored in the game? 163, 164, or 165? 166, 167, or 168? Or 169, 170, or 171?
I would go lower on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go the 163, 164, or 165. It's plus 1,200. We'll do the $2 bet there. That would pay out $26, plus you get the $25 bonus bet if you get it right.
There we go. And my final bet of the day, it will be a parlay. The Marlins to win against the Rockies. The Rays to win against the Texas Rangers, keeping it right here in Florida. My $2 bet, if it hits, will return me $5.24.
So I'm going to take, Paul Skeens. Do you think he goes over or under 6.5?
Over.
Strikeouts. Yeah, I'm going to
take.
He's
getting strikeouts. He's just not getting wins.
I'm going to take Paul Skeens to go over the strikeouts. I'm going to take Pete Crow Armstrong for a hit, which is minus 300, so it absolutely does nothing. And then let's see, who else is someone I feel pretty confident tonight in getting ahead? So let's add a little Atlanta Bravo on here. How about we take... Oh, you know what? Let's go Ronnie for a home run tonight.
Oh, I like it. Take a big swing there.
Plus 325. That's a 3-bet parlay. $2 pays out $22.13.
Nice. That's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. All right, moving on into this day in history. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. This day, 1932, Lou Gehrig becomes the first Major League player to hit 4 consecutive home runs in a game, giving the New York Yankees a 20-13 victory over the Philadelphia Athletics. Gehrig's feat, however, is overshadowed by the resignation of John McGuire, manager of the New York Giants of 30 years. This day, 1995, El Duque, Pedro Martinez of the Montreal Expos, pitches 9 perfect innings against the San Diego Padres before he gives up a leadoff double in the top of the 10th inning. The Expos still win the game 1-0 over the Padres. And on this day, 2018.
Hey, real quick, Pedro, you said El Duque. That was Orlando Hernandez, right?
I thought that was Pedro.
Oh, he had the real high leg kick. Hold on, let me type that in. El Duque. Orlando Hernandez.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
El Duque.
El Duque. 2018, Steph Curry.
Dang, he's 59 years old, dog.
He is. He pitched until he was like 43.
My goodness.
He pitched forever, man.
Well, no, I'm talking about Orlando Hernandez.
Yeah, they both pitched forever.
Pedro's probably a little bit older than him now.
Pedro started in the 89-90, I want to say, because, I mean, he was on the Expo, so you know he started before 95.
Right, no doubt. Let's see. So, dang, Pedro's only 53. I felt like he was going to be a little bit older right there. And, looks like he started. Oh, doesn't have it right up for me. But he was with the Expo, or the Dodgers before he was with the Expos.
Yeah, he was drafted by the Dodgers.
Yeah, didn't join the Expos till 94.
2018, Steph Curry, Golden State, broke Ray Allen's NBA Finals record for most 3 points with 9 in the Warriors' 122-103 victory in Game 2 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that is what we got for this day in history. So
I got a few Braves centered on this day. On this day, 2004, at 45 years of age, Julio Franco becomes the oldest player in Major League history to hit a grand slam as the Braves beat the Phillies 8-4. In 2010, Johnny Venters picks up his first career save as the Braves extend their winning streak to 9 straight games with a 4-3 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chris Medlin turned in a good outing on the mound while Troy Glaus homered for the 4th time in 5 games. Always forget about Troy Glaus playing for the Atlanta Braves.
I know. I mean, he wasn't there that long, but I kind of remember it.
Yeah.
He made some big moves, though.
I always forget about that. And then finally, the Braves in 2016 fell to the Dodgers 4-2 as rookie Corey Seager homered 3 times.
Nice. Corey. All right. Tampa Bay Lightning news. You want to hear it, Dave?
Yeah.
Yanni Gourde got a 6-year, $14 million extension. He is signed until he is 39 years old.
Let's go, man. I like that. I don't think he did as much in the playoffs as what maybe we would have liked him to do.
Nobody on that team did a whole lot in the playoffs. I'm not going to put that on him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I've always loved Yanni Gourde from his first time there with the Lightning and still kind of followed him a little bit over there with the Kraken. So was glad to see his name included with the Alexiak trade. And we'll see what that's who was it. Alex?
It was Alex Alexiak.
Yeah. So we'll see what how this next year goes. We got John Cooper, so it's time to run it back. Let's see if we can get another Florida team in the finals next year.
All right, got about 2 minutes left, so we'll have a quick 2-minute conversation here. You're a gamer guy.
Yeah,
I'm a gamer guy. Saquon Barkley, cover of Madden, curse or no curse?
I mean, it's been back and forth. Last year, the curse came back because Christian McCaffrey with his bilateral Achilles tendon situation. So it was a curse last year, but when you go back, not all of them were curses. So I don't put too much into it. I think Saquon being younger and having a better offensive line, I'm not worried about it. I don't think that Philly fans should be too worried about Saquon, or not Saquon, but the Madden curse. And I will also say, quite possibly, at least in my opinion, the coolest Madden cover of all time. Like, even if the Eagles didn't end up winning the Super Bowl, I still feel like that particular play would have been the Madden cover.
Oh, that's a great cover. Him, just leapfrogging the dude. Oh, beauty of a cover.
And I believe they changed Pat and Geno's over there in Philly to Saquon's, and they've got like a whole bunch of EA Sports Madden cover stuff covering the whole restaurant. So pretty cool stuff there.
Love it. Yeah, for me, I think I don't want to say there's a curse attached to the Madden cover, but if you look at it, about 60% of the guys that have been on the cover the year following them being on the cover, something not great happens. Yeah. So, the thing is you're looking at guys that have already made it. The only reason you're going to be on the cover of Madden is because you have made it. They're not going to put
unless you're Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, that one was a little bit of...
They're like, we don't really have anyone else
that one was a little bit of a push.
White dude just ran for 1,000 yards in the NFL. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Because if you go look at the top white rusher who amassed the most yards on the ground, it's really a list of quarterbacks. And you're talking about 400, 500 yards. Peyton Hillis actually topped 1,000.
Yeah. Fullback, white guy, Browns.
Yep.
Yeah. Who saw that one coming? I did not. Hey, I played it, though. Played it a lot.
Yeah.
One of the last years that I was like, man, this is really good. Madden, man, step up your game.
Yeah.
I'm hoping college football steps up its game, too.
From what I've been reading, and again, it's a whole different world reading and playing, but from what I've been reading, they've listened to what the people said and have introduced a lot of changes that seem to be positive.
I hope so. I mean, I like you said, reading it and them saying it and them actually doing it in the product, two totally separate things. Because I enjoyed the game last year for about the first 2 weeks, and then I started noticing the little veneers cracking in different places, and it kind of disappointed me that it looked almost at times like an unfinished game when they had years to work on this.
Yeah, and but there was so much to put in that game. That was my favorite game that I played last year. It was much better than Madden. Both games were really great, but I played it much more than Madden. Let's put it that way. I'm really excited to see what they do. And now you're going to have the actual head coaches and stuff, so I'm excited about it July 10th.
Yep. All right, guys, end of the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, hanging out with us here on the Inside Drive. James Fife, David Hayes, keep your stick on the ice.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.